Level 1. The algorithm's lottery. You are standing barefoot on cold faux wood laminate at 6:12 a.m. The apartment smells of damp drywall and the stale coffee grounds you forgot to throw away last night. You hold a cracked phone in your right hand. The screen brightness is turned down to save the battery, illuminating a banking app that takes entirely too long to load. The bold black text finally renders against the white background. $18.41. Rent is $1,150, and the automated withdrawal is scheduled in exactly 3 days. You place the phone face down on the laminate counter. You breathe in the cold air coming through the poorly sealed window and mentally calculate how many meals you can skip before Thursday. Last night, you uploaded a video. It was a 40-minute documentary-style essay you spent 6 months editing on a 2017 laptop that sounded like a struggling airplane engine every time you rendered a timeline. You had uploaded 52 videos before it over the last 3 years. The most successful one had reached 4,000 views. You picked the phone back up. You opened the YouTube Studio app out of muscle memory, expecting to see the familiar gray dashboard with a flat line indicating 0 current viewers. The app freezes for 2 full seconds. The screen flashes white, attempts to render the analytics graph, and crashes. You close the app from your background tasks. You open it again. The gray dashboard loads, but the layout looks structurally incorrect. The numbers are taking up too much physical space on the screen. Your subscriber count yesterday was 1,200. And 4, the number printed at the top of the screen, now is 1,004,800. And 12, below it, the view count for the last 24 hours reads 14.2 million. Your body interprets this information not as joy, but as a severe, immediate physical threat. The blood drains entirely from your face, leaving your cheeks cold and your lips numb. Your stomach tightens violently. You sit down hard on the edge of a cheap synthetic couch because your knees suddenly lack the structural integrity to hold your weight. Your ears begin to ring with a high, thin pitch. This is what the brain does when reality shatters without warning. It searches for the danger. You drag your thumb down the screen to refresh the page, fully expecting the glitch to correct itself and return you to your $18.41 life. The page refreshes. The subscriber count ticks up to 1,005,110. A green arrow points straight up, indicating a 99,999% increase in channel growth. You switch to your email app. The inbox is a descending waterfall of bold text that refuses to stop scrolling. There are 4,108 unread messages. Subject lines flash past your eyes in a blur of corporate desperation. Sponsorship inquiry, brand integration, paid opportunity, urgent representation. You lock the phone screen, you set it on the cushion next to you. You do not stand up. You sit in the exact same spot as the sun comes up, throwing harsh yellow light across the dust particles floating in your living room. You do not eat. You do not shower. You sit alone in the silence, listening to the occasional muffled vibration of the phone against the upholstery. The day passes in a slow, suffocating blur. It is now 11:45 p.m. You are sitting in the dark. You have not told a single living soul. You are entirely alone with a knowledge so heavy it feels like it is crushing your chest, fully aware that the person who went to sleep in this room last night is dead. Level 2. The Phantom Routine. Your shift starts at 8 a.m. You put on the dark blue polo shirt with the embroidered logistics company logo on the left breast. The fabric feels rough against your skin. You haven't slept. Your eyes are dry, burning from staring at the blue light of the analytics dashboard. Until 4 a.m., watching the estimated revenue counter climb from $0 to $14,400. You walk to the bus stop. The morning air is biting, and the exhaust from passing cars smells like copper and burnt oil. You scan your transit card. The machine beeps its low balance warning. You sit in the back of the bus, holding the metal handrail, feeling the vibrations of the engine rattle through your forearm. In your pocket, the phone vibrates. It has been vibrating every 14 seconds for the last 20 hours. You walk through the glass doors of the fulfillment center. The fluorescent lights hum with a microscopic flicker that makes your headache worse. You sit at your desk. You begin routing tracking numbers into a spreadsheet. Your supervisor, a man who wears entirely too much cologne and corrects your posture when he walks by, taps on your cubicle wall. He informs you that your productivity metric was down by 4% yesterday. He hands you a yellow printed printed warning slip and tells you to sign the bottom. You look at the cheap paper, you look at his tie, you look at the gray fabric of the cubicle wall. In your pocket is an asset currently generating more revenue per hour than this entire floor of data entry clerks will make in a fiscal quarter. You take the pen. You do not scream. You do not throw the paper. You sign your name in blue ink and hand it back to him without saying a single word. He nods, seemingly satisfied with your submission, and walks away. You stand up. You walk down the narrow linoleum hallway to the employee restroom. You lock the stall door, you sit on the closed toilet seat and pull the phone out. The revenue counter now reads $19,250. You stare at the tiled floor. The contrast between the dirt tracked into the grout and the digital numbers on the glass screen makes you feel entirely detached from your own body. You are a ghost haunting your own life. You clock out for lunch at 12:30 p.m. You do not clock back in. Level 3, the inbox sickness. The laptop fan whines as it struggles to load the Gmail interface. You are sitting at your kitchen counter. The estimated revenue in the YouTube Studio app has cleared the holding phase and is now marked as available for the next billing cycle. $41,200 is sitting in an escrow account managed by Google, legally attached to your social security number. But that is not what demands your attention. You open the business email address you listed in your channel description 3 years ago. You filter the inbox to show only messages containing the word offer. 74 separate threads populate instantly. You click on the first one. It is from a digital security company. They are offering $15,000 for a 60-second pre-roll integration on your next video. You click the second email, a meal replacement powder company offering $22,000 for a dedicated 90-second read. The numbers stop looking like currency. They look like data. They look like strings of code completely divorced from the reality of paying a $1,150 rent bill. You scroll past the individual brands. You stop on an email with a minimalist corporate signature. The sender is Elias Thorne. The company is Mantis Media Management. The subject line reads, infrastructure and escalation. The email does not offer a single brand deal. Instead, Elias has attached a PDF containing a meticulous breakdown of your audience demographics, your retention curves, and a list of 12 media agencies currently trying to find your physical address to serve you lowball contracts. The final sentence of the email is bolded. They are trying to buy your reach before you realize what it is worth. We build the walls to stop them. You read the sentence 4 times. You look at the 73 other emails from companies demanding deliverables, demanding turnaround times, demanding W-9 forms you do not know how to fill out. The money is available, but the system required to extract it is a labyrinth you have never navigated. You hover the cursor over the reply button on Elias's email. Your finger twitches against a plastic trackpad. You click. You type 3 words, when can we talk? You press send. Level 4, the perimeter. The video call connects. Elias Thorne is sitting in an office with floor-to-ceiling glass windows overlooking a gray, overcast city skyline. He is wearing a plain black t-shirt that costs more than your current net worth. He does not smile when his camera turns on. He looks directly into the lens. He begins speaking in a low, measured tone, rattling off acronyms and metrics that make the back of your neck sweat. CPM, CTR, exclusivity windows, perpetual licensing in perpetuity. He shares his screen. He shows you a flowchart of how a single brand integration is actually processed. Legal review, compliance checks, escrow holding, agency fees, tax withholding. He casually mentions that the $22,000 offer you received from the meal replacement company includes a clause that gives them ownership of your video forever, allowing them to run it as a paid advertisement on other platforms, without paying you a cent more. Your chest tightens. You realize you are entirely out of your depth. Your phone buzzes on the desk next to the laptop. It is a text message from your older brother. He is asking if you can float him $300 for car repairs until the end of the month. You stare at his name on the screen. You cannot reply. You cannot say yes without explaining why you suddenly have the money. You cannot say no knowing there is $41,200 pending in your dashboard. You slide the phone face down, leaving the message on unread. Elias stops talking. He leans back in his expensive leather chair. He tells you that Mantis Media can take over the entire inbox within the hour. They will filter the predatory contracts, negotiate the rates up by 40%, and handle all legal compliance. They will shield you from the machine so you can keep making the art that the algorithm selected. The money from the brands is currently disputed. It exists only as promises in unverified emails. Elias offers to make it real. He says he is sending a document to your email right now. He tells you to review it, but reminds you that the internet moves fast. The algorithm favors momentum. If you do not post again within 5 days, the artificial intelligence governing the platform will reallocate your traffic to someone else. The screen share ends. The video call terminates. You are alone in your apartment again, but the silence feels entirely different. It feels like a countdown. Level 5, the drop point. The email arrives via a secure document portal. The subject line is Representation and Exclusivity Agreement. The document is 48 pages long. The legal jargon is dense, filled with subsections, clauses, and definitions that blur together as you scroll down the screen. You do not have a lawyer. You cannot afford a lawyer. You have exactly $18.41 in your checking account. You stop scrolling at page 4. Section 3.1. Signing bonus. Mantis Media Management agrees to wire the sum of $250,000 to the talent upon the execution of this document. You stare at the number, $250,000. It is more money than your parents made in a decade combined. It is a house. It is freedom from the logistics company. It is never checking the price of groceries before putting them in the cart. You scroll down to the bottom of the page. There is a small red timer in the corner of the document portal. The offer expires in exactly 2 hours and 14 minutes. You read a few more pages, scanning words like likeness rights, final cut approval, and social footprint management. None of it registers. Your brain is solely focused on the 6-digit number on page 4. Every survival instinct you possess is screaming at you to secure the capital. Rent is due on Thursday. You think about your supervisor holding the yellow warning slip. You think about the bus exhaust. You think about the $300 your brother needs. You move the mouse to the bottom of page 48. A yellow box pulses on the screen, indicating where you need to click to apply a digital signature. You do exactly what any person in your position would do. You do not hire an attorney. You do not read the fine print regarding intellectual property. You place the cursor over the yellow box. You click. The screen flashes green. A message appears. Document executed. 4 minutes later, your phone chimes with a notification from your banking app. You open it. The loading wheel spins for 2 seconds. The bold black text renders against the white background. Available balance, $250,018.41. The money is real. The wealth has arrived. You let out a long, shuddering breath, believing the hardest part of your life is finally over. You do not yet realize that you have just sold the only thing you actually owned. Level 6, the asset consolidation. You wake up in a different room. It has been 3 weeks. You used the signing bonus to secure a 2-year lease on a high-rise apartment and to buy a cinematic camera rig that costs more than your last car. You open your laptop to check your YouTube Studio dashboard. The layout is identical, but the background permissions have changed. A gray banner across the top reads, Managed by Mantis Media Management Enterprise. You click the Revenue tab to check the AdSense escrow. The $41,200 is gone. The current balance reads 0. You open your inbox. There is a message from the Mantis accounting division. It includes a complex spreadsheet detailing how the AdSense revenue was absorbed to cover management fees, legal retainers, and the initial recoupment of your signing bonus. Your money is now legally disputed. Before you can draft a reply, another email arrives. It is an automated notification from a content calendar API. It contains a pre-written script and a 72-hour delivery window. The script is for a video promoting a new cryptocurrency exchange platform. It uses your exact tone, your cadences, and your specific vocabulary. It is completely devoid of the art you spent 3 years developing. You walk to the bathroom mirror. You pull your shirt over your head. Your collarbones are protruding sharply against your pale skin. The jeans you bought 2 weeks ago require a belt on the tightest notch just to stay on your waist. The stress of the daily upload schedule and the constant barrage of corporate emails has stripped the appetite completely from your body. You return to the desk. You attach the heavy camera to the tripod. The ring light reflects in your eyes, creating a hollow, artificial glare. You stare into the lens, you hit record, you read the script exactly as it is written. You speak the words drafted by a machine, feeling the absolute removal of your own voice from your throat because you have locked yourself into a financial burn rate you cannot sustain without them. Level 7, the likeness hijack. 4 days later, you receive a secure cloud link from a junior editor at Mantis. The file is titled Final Render V3. You press play, you watch yourself sitting in your new apartment, speaking directly into the camera. But the words coming out of your mouth are not the ones you recorded. The crypto platform integration has been heavily extended. You watch your own lips move perfectly in sync with an audio track you never spoke. They have used a 14-minute audio sample of your previous videos to clone your voice. They used deepfake software to manipulate the lower half of your face. You immediately open your email and type a furious, shaking message to Elias Thorne. You explicitly forbid them from uploading the video. You state that it is a violation of your trust and your audience. You click send, you wait 40 minutes. The YouTube notification pushes to your phone screen. Your new video is live. The notification does not come from your action. You open the video, the view count is already crossing 40,000. The comments are flooding in, praising you for the upload, completely unaware they are watching a digital puppet. You click on the channel icon in the top right corner. You scroll down to the settings menu. You click the permissions tab. You attempt to remove Mantis Media Management as the primary owner. A red text box appears on the screen. Action requires Enterprise Administrator approval. You do not own your face. You do not own your voice. You attempt to change the channel password to lock them out. The system demands a two-factor authentication code sent to an email address ending in mantismedia.com. You are locked outside of the house you built. Your identity has been legally separated from your physical body, and you are watching a stranger wear your skin while millions of people applaud. Level 8, the preliminary injunction. You wake up to the sound of aggressive knocking on your apartment door. It is 9:15 a.m. You walk to the door and look through the digital peephole. A man in a cheap gray suit is holding a thick manila envelope. You do not open the door. You wait until he leaves, listening to the heavy sound of the envelope sliding under the doorframe. You pick it up off the hardwood floor. It is a notice of a preliminary injunction filed in federal court. Mantis Media Management's 7-person legal team has filed a breach of contract lawsuit against you. The document cites your email refusing the upload as an anticipatory breach of the representation and exclusivity agreement. They are demanding the immediate return of the $250,000 signing bonus. They have invoked a penalty clause amounting to $1,200,000 in projected lost revenue. You drop the papers on the kitchen island, you open your banking app, the loading wheel spins. The bold black text renders. Your available balance is exactly zero. Below the number, a red subtext reads, "Account frozen due to legal hold." You walk to the window and look down at the street. The man in the gray suit is sitting in a dark sedan parked directly across from your building lobby. You pull the blinds shut. You sit on the floor in the center of the living room. You do not leave the apartment. You do not order food. You cancel a dental appointment you booked weeks ago. Your physical movement is now entirely dictated by the fear of stepping outside and being served further documentation by strangers. You are confined to a luxury box you can no longer afford. Every dollar you have ever made is frozen inside a banking system that requires a court order to release it. The silence in the apartment is absolute. You stare at the blank walls, realizing the system never actually wanted your art. It wanted your audience, and it simply needed to legally remove you from the equation to extract the value. Level 9, the arbitration settlement. Elias Thorne calls you directly on your cell phone. It has been 11 days since your bank account was frozen. You have survived on tap water and whatever dry pasta was left in the pantry. You answer the call. His voice is calm, professional, and entirely devoid of malice. He explains that the litigation is not personal. It is merely an automated corporate response to a breach of contract. He tells you that going to trial will cost you upwards of $200,000 in legal fees you do not have. He then offers a solution. He has emailed you a 400-page arbitration settlement. The terms are brutally simple. Mantis Media Management will unfreeze your bank account. They will drop the massive penalty clause. They will guarantee you a monthly salary of $15,000. In exchange, you surrender all intellectual property rights to your name, your likeness, and your channel in perpetuity. You will become an independent contractor, acting as the face of the brand they now legally own. You will log in twice a week to record motion capture video and read exactly what is placed on the teleprompter. You will not write. You will not edit. You will not express a single original thought. Elias tells you that the crypto platform they are promoting is currently under federal investigation for defrauding its users. He says it casually, as if discussing the weather. He tells you the scripts will continue to promote the platform until the government shuts it down. You are being asked to actively funnel your audience into a financial slaughterhouse. You look at your empty refrigerator. You look at the eviction warning taped to your front door because your rent check bounced 3 days ago. You open the email on your phone. You scroll to the final page of the heavy PDF document. You tap the yellow box. You apply your digital signature. You sell out every person who ever believed in you just to turn the electricity back on. You trade your remaining morals for access to your own checking account. The funds become available within 12 minutes. You hear the notification sound from your phone. You do not feel relief. You feel a cold, heavy sickness settle into the bottom of your stomach, knowing the money is no longer a tool for freedom. It is the leash they use to walk you. Level 10, the digital ghost. You are standing barefoot on cold faux wood laminate at 6:12 a.m. The high-rise apartment smells of expensive, sterile air conditioning and the stale coffee grounds you forgot to throw away last night. You hold a new heavy phone in your right hand. The screen brightness is turned all the way up, illuminating the banking app that loads instantly over a gigabit connection. The bold black text renders against the white background. $312,400.18. Rent is $6,500, and the automated withdrawal is scheduled in exactly 3 days. You place the phone face down on the cold granite counter. You breathe in the filtered air coming through the perfectly sealed vents. You do not mentally calculate how many meals you can skip. Instead, you calculate how many years of your life you have legally forfeited to the people who own the numbers on that screen. You walk into the room you designated as the studio. It is soundproofed with thick acoustic foam that makes the air feel dead and heavy. There is a teleprompter rigged in front of a cinema-grade lens that costs more than a house in the town you used to live in. The ring light is already on, left running through the night, casting a harsh, perfect white glow over the empty leather chair. You sit down. The leather squeaks softly beneath your weight. You stare at the dark glass of the prompter. At exactly 6:15 a.m., the text begins to scroll upward in bright white font. It is a script generated by Mantis Media Management's algorithm, scrubbed by their legal team, and optimized for maximum viewer retention. It is promoting a predatory loan service disguised as a decentralized finance investment opportunity. You do not touch the keyboard. You do not edit the words. You do not ask yourself what happens to the people who trust your face and put their savings into the link in the description. You press the recording foot pedal beneath the desk. The red tally light illuminates. You smile. You begin speaking the words, artificially raising your pitch to match the energetic persona your audience expects. You hit every syllable exactly as they directed. You use the exact hand gestures outlined in the delivery notes. You sound exactly like yourself. You look exactly like yourself. But the person who used to spend 6 months editing a video on a broken laptop no longer exists. You finish speaking the script at 6:45 a.m. You upload the raw footage to the shared enterprise drive so the editors can cut it into the daily feed. You close the laptop. Your workday is over. You walk back out to the main living area. You stand by the floor-to-ceiling glass windows, looking down at the tiny cars moving silently on the gray highway far below. The channel now has 4.2 million subscribers. You receive a monthly direct deposit of $15,000. You have a verified badge next to your name on every platform. You have everything the numbers promised you on that first morning. But as you look out at the city, the truth settles into your bones like winter frost. You are completely and utterly trapped. You cannot leave the arrangement. You cannot close the channel. If you walk away, Elias Thorne will simply use the deepfake software to replace you entirely, and your audience will never even notice you are gone. Your physical body is no longer required for your life to continue. You are an employee of your own face. You sit down hard on the edge of the expensive synthetic couch because your knees suddenly feel weak under the weight of the realization. You sit in the exact same spot as the sun comes up, throwing harsh yellow light across the dust particles floating in the expansive room. You do not eat. You do not shower. You sit alone in the silence, listening to the occasional muffled vibration of the phone against the upholstery, knowing that tomorrow morning the text will scroll upward again and you will read it.